Hi, how are you? I hope that you have been enjoying our series on female entrepreneurs, black females for now. But in the state that we're in, it was my joy to invite some of the individuals that I know who are creatives in their own right and who are enjoying the successes of empires that they have built. Some of them from their very kitchens, some of them from laptops, but all from an idea. And one of the reoccurring themes that has been brought up through our discussions is that they came from a need. And I wanted to explore that just a little bit through my own personal story. I shared with one of the business owners, Shireen St. Just, who is the owner of Just Natural Livings, an organic and natural skin, everything, body, hair care company. And she developed her product out of a need for herself. The products that she had bought were not working. And so she needed to develop something, and it became something that her entire family could use, and now the world. And I thought about it as we talked about it, that most of the times, if I could even dare say 100% of the times, if we really stop and talk to business owners, it came from a need to satisfy something that they lacked and others weren't given the best benefit for. So, for example, Shireen had the issue, as I said, with her hair, and she developed a cream and a product so that her hair can be healthy and not dry out. In my personal experience, I remember my particular need was to care for my family. It was at the onset of the divorce from my first husband. And speaking to a counselor, she just was asking me to fill in the gap of somewhere that I love to go, some things that I love to do. And one of those things was travel. I love to travel, but I didn't have a green card. I was undocumented, and so I couldn't go to the places that I had longed to go to. So what I did, and she told me get creative. So what I did was I took magazines and I cut out the places that I wanted to go to, and I dreamed and I imagined. Well, at the same time, I was, like I said, going through the separation, and I needed to take care of my family. I couldn't work because I didn't have working documents, and so I had to come up with very creative ways. Well, sometimes we stumble upon our gifting in the search of fulfilling a need. I also love nature. I love nature. I love being in the outdoors. I love flowers. Orchids are my favorite flower. And I love springtime, and I just love the gradient effect of all the colors, and from the perennials to the annuals. And so I thought, let me take pictures of flowers. I love pictures. You guys know that. So what I did was I had my little phone. I think it was a Samsung or something. It was just little phones. And I started taking pictures. Now, granted, those initial pictures are nothing to die for, but for me, they were everything. So I started taking close-up of daffodils and roses and all of these flowers that have textures and colors. What developed out of that was the realization that I had an eye for photography. I had no idea, nor did I know that it was a gift passed down through my family. I had no idea. I had no idea that one of my uncles is a very well-known photographer. And my family had been wondering who the gift had been passed down to. They had no idea. I had no idea until that assignment to fulfill a need to go to a happy place, a need to do something that I love to do, to take my mind away from all of the hurt and the pain that I was experiencing. So a friend of mine who saw the pictures, because then I got a camera, right? Got a little inexpensive camera. A friend of mine said to me, "Latoya, these pictures are really good. Why don't you make postcards out of them? Or why don't you sell them?" Well, by then I was already dating my second husband, and he owned a printing company. And so here was a resource that the Lord had placed in my lap. And so uh, with the help of my then husband, I was able to create my very, very first project was creating personalized Mother's Day cards. And those sold out within a couple of weeks. That Mother's Day, I made money. Okay? I made money. I sold the cards and people wanted them. And so I was able to see, well, wait a minute, I'm maybe onto something here. And then another friend of mine said to me, you know what? People will buy those prints. I had gotten some rare shots of deer in the snow. I had gotten some rare shots of winter and just some really beautiful, beautiful scenery. And so my friend said, if you post it, people will buy it. I didn't believe it. And even in talking to one of the women that you will see, we talked about the fear of not being accepted, the fear of our idea being laughed at or ridiculed, the fear of it being so grandiose in our minds, but then when we put it to action, it would just fizzle. The fear of people saying that that's already in a space, somebody is already doing it. The fear of seeing someone doing it already and saying that there's no space for me. All of these things went through my mind because I was not officially, or I wasn't trained officially to be a photographer. It is just something that I realized that there was a gift in for. And it was something to fill my need, my mental health need. What ended up happening, it became a source of income for my family. It wasn't for long, but it was long enough for the door to open for me to realize that I had other giftings that I didn't recognize. Do you know that people bought those prints? Do you know that people bought those pictures? People ordered life-size pictures of those prints that I took that I thought were fantastic, but thought that no one would want it on their wall. Those prints that I took just for me so that I could look at night, they bought them. So it wasn't just cards now. People were buying my eye. People were buying my lens. People were buying the way that I viewed things. It wasn't the cards and it wasn't the prints. They were buying my creativity. They were buying my choices. They were buying my wisdom. They were buying the decisions that I was making to take this frame versus that frame. They were buying my angles. They were buying me. It never dawned on me that that would unfold from a simple challenge. It got better. It got better. What I then recognized through the help of mentors was that this creative side of me, this creative / media side of me that is manifested in different ways, was something that I was able to develop through the help of some amazing mentors. Even at the radio station, the way that I was taught media and radio production added to my value and my worth. It added to my portfolio. And then designing flyers and being taught how to do that. With the raw talent that I had, Mark then took that raw talent and said, let me teach you some ways. Let me teach you techniques. Let me teach you how to really get good at this. And being able to be teachable and to learn then just created more of this platform that I have, this creativity that I have. So this eye, this lens that God has given me is being filtered through any of the artistic avenues that I am asked to do today, whether it's recording or filming or designing or layouts or even in life or even home decor. It all filters through this gift that came as a need to take care of my family. I am able to bring in income through any one of those perspectives. It doesn't matter which one I am called upon to do, I can tap into that gifting to supply that need and to bring in revenue for my home. It is something that we're not taught growing up. These are skill sets and these are thinkings that we're not taught in school. We should be. We really should be. Do you know of a young person or maybe even a friend of yours that has a unique talent and yet they're sitting on it? They may not know what to do with it. Do you know of someone? Maybe that person is you. You never know. Is there a need in your life that you would wish that it is satisfied? I don't care what it is. Whether it's from your hair falling out or your nails being too brittle or your skin with eczema, or it could be a cooking allergy or a food allergy. It doesn't matter what it is. If there is a place that is lacking, if there is a need that you have, you can develop the very thing or product to satisfy that need, to take care of your family, and to bless the world. Another gifting that I had, which I didn't know about, was writing. I know I had the gift of gab. I know. My stepfather had already told me this from when I was younger. I used to get into too much trouble in classrooms talking. And I didn't know what to do with it. But he harnessed that, and he sat me down one day and said, I want you to be able to speak and speak intellectually. I want you to be able to have conversations. I want you to be able to be knowledgeable. So what he did was he sat me down. I had to watch the news every day and talk to him about the news, not just what was happening in my little island, but what was happening in the world. What did that end up doing for Latoya? By the time I was able to be given the opportunity to do radio, all of that training and skills came in handy. All of that knowledge came in handy. I was then able to sit and hold conversations with people in the community into political leaders because I had been mentored to take information and then to be able to either hold people accountable or ask the right questions. All of that came into play with the lens and the knowledge and the gift of gab. All of those things harnessed together were able to help me feed my family for a while. And the best part of it, this is what I don't want you to forget. It will open doors for other opportunities, for you to be able to harness and hone in on those skill sets, for you to be able to grow. We should always be teachers, and we should always be teachable. Which one is more important? I think being teachable, because when we are teachable, we teach at the same time. We teach the one who's teaching us what it is to have a good listening ear. We teach the one who's teaching us that what they're saying is of value and that they should continue imparting it to people. Being teachable means that I will never settle for this level, that there is always higher to go. Being teachable means that I recognize that I may have a gift, but that there's always someone who's older, or maybe someone who has gone ahead and opened up other ways, who can teach me more, who can give me more, who can say to me, you know what, try it this way or try it that way. I am not absolute with my knowledge. None of us are. But if we can take the time and embrace the gifting that we have, there is a world that is waiting for us. There's a creative space that needs us. There are people who need our voice, who need our lens, who need our gift of gab to speak for them. They need our lens to see for them, and they need our wisdom to decide for them. I'm talking about me with just being creative. I'm a great cook too, because I was teachable. What is it that you have that is a need? What do you need? What is it that's not being satisfied? What is it that's frustrating you? Think about it. Think about it. And create it. Who's stopping you? Who is stopping you? Absolutely no one. We have all the resources really at our hands, and some of the resources are very inexpensive. So you have no excuse to create. None. We all are creative. And you know where it comes from, at least for me? It comes from the creative mind of God, the Creator Himself, the genius, the one who has all these fantastic ideas and have the power to bring it to fruition. You know why? Because He brought us to fruition. Because I believe as He's interweaving us and as He is creating us, He's also interweaving us with the ideas. He's interweaving us with certain gifts and talents that will help shape our world, that will help satisfy the needs of people everywhere. Everywhere. Embrace it today. Today. Right now. Right this moment. Embrace the need and embrace the ability and the challenge to satisfy that need. And then guess what? Go do it. Go do it. I use a silly phone to take a close-up picture. And if I had to get down on my, do you know what I did at times? I would get down on my knees and sometimes lay on my back and hold the flower. Hold the flower, just like I would hold this. I would hold the flower with the camera and tell the flower where to stay and take the picture. That's what I did. So if you have to hold on to whatever it is that is going to help you satisfy your need, do it. You have my permission because it has been done. So I hope that you will continue to enjoy these programs as we bring them to you, that you would celebrate these women and you would patronize them. I have tried all of their products and they work. So until next time, I will see you again. Satisfy that need. Bye.